Good morning and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be going over the simple steps that get your new year set off on the right foot. Now, I think you should start with a mental, digital, and physical declutter. For mental declutter, I think the best things you can do is grab yourself a planner or a notebook or pull up an app that you can kind of do a little brain dump where you can throw out all your ideas, read them over, review them, organize your thoughts. I think it's a great idea to get your thoughts all out there, write down the appointments you need to schedule, get all of your thoughts out on paper, everything that's been cluttering your mind. It is great to get it out there, get it organized. Digital declutter, and I started with my Instagram app. The first thing I did was go to my following list. I went over all the accounts that I no longer align with, that I don't really care to keep up with, or that encourage me to spend money, especially this year, because this new year I am not spending any money that I have not already planned for. I just don't want to be enticed, so I deleted all of those accounts. I then went through my followers list and I removed people who don't interact with me, who I feel like are just being nosy, or those spam accounts. So I went through all of that, but then I actually took this one step farther and I actually deactivated my Instagram because I don't want to spend my time on there. It's a waste of time. It ends up being a waste of money. And ultimately, like over the last year or so that I've opened my Instagram, it's all ads or accounts that I don't even follow anyways. I don't even see the people who I want to be seeing. So I just deactivated it because I'm kind of sick of that and I don't want that distraction. Next, I opened my YouTube and I went through my subscription list and I removed accounts that I no longer align with. I have a vision for myself within the next year. I don't want to be sold things all the time. So I just went through everybody that I'm subscribed to that I no longer align with and I just unfollowed them. Also, it's a great idea to go through your streaming apps and unsubscribe from any streaming app that you're no longer using at this time. I find that I will get onto a show and it's on a certain streaming app. I'll be watching entire seasons of something, so I don't need to be subscribed to other streaming apps while on this one show. You can subscribe and unsubscribe depending on the month or what you're watching, so I would encourage you to unsubscribe from anything that you aren't watching at the moment. I also opened my phone, I went through my contacts and I deleted people that I no longer speak to, or maybe like a random phone number that I had in there because of somebody that I was contacting on Marketplace or something like that. I used to be a dog groomer, so I would have random owners of dogs that I would groom. So I just went through and I deleted everybody that I no longer need to be in contact with. I then went through my Spotify and I cleaned up my playlist. I made sure that everything kind of had a place, and for me, that's like a little bit of a mental declutter as well as a digital declutter. It's not like I'm thinking about it all the time, but it's just I like things organized and in place. So I did that while I was at it, as well as my Pinterest boards. I had sometimes, you know, you save something to the wrong board. So I went through all my boards. I just made sure that there wasn't like food in my living room inspo mood board. You know what I mean? So I organized all that. It just feels good to get done. I don't know about you, but for me, this is just really good mentally to have everything organized and in place just to start off the new year. I went through all of my app subscriptions and made sure that I was either using all of the apps that I'm subscribed to, or if I wasn't, I made sure to cancel those. I then went through my computer and I tidied up my desktop and my downloads folder and emptied the trash after, because you can be doing all of this decluttering and if it's sitting in the trash, to me, it's like not gone. It's still there. Make sure you empty the trash after you do all of this. I then went through my phone and cleaned up my photos. I have always loved to take pictures. I take pictures of like a blade of grass with dew on it, and I could take like 50 pictures of that until I get the right one. I have to delete often, but I went through all of my pictures and I made sure that I'm only keeping the best one, maybe two pictures of like a certain little photo shoot that I did. Especially now having a baby, I find I take so many pictures of him, trying to get the cutest one, or you know, the right shot where his eyes aren't closed or where he's smiling, you know what I mean? So I went through and I deleted all of the duplicate photos, and that was a huge one for me. So if you're like me and you take a lot of photos, make sure you go through your photo album and you delete any of the multiple photos that you may have taken in a particular photo shoot. That is a great way to digitally declutter. I think that's everything that I did for my digital declutter. Then the next step after your mental and digital declutter would be a physical declutter. So I spent some time over the last few weeks and I went through every single closet, drawer, every nook and cranny basically. So go through your closets, your dressers, your junk drawer, your mail, organize your mail, put it in the right spot, get a little file folder, get things in their place, go through your garage, go through your fridge, your freezer, your pantry, pull all the old stuff to the front, make sure you're getting through that before the new year. We don't want to waste things. And then restocking from the back. Getting these things organized ahead of time is a great way to kick off your new year on the right foot. Next, I went through and I reflected on the year that I've had. So the number one thing for me was obviously becoming a mom. I just have the most fond memories of my birth, my hospital experience, bringing home the newborn baby. I reflected a lot on that. I now feel like I have a new respect for moms and everything that they do. I can just relate now to the love that a mom experiences, and I just have a new perspective, and that has been the biggest thing for me to reflect on this year. It's been my greatest accomplishment by far. Reflect on your year, the year that you've had, where you've done well. If you don't really know where to start, you can use the 7 dimensions of wellness and kind of reflect on each one of those. I'll go over a little bit of that because that is how I planned for the year ahead. Before that though, you need to find your why and establish your core value. So I'm not going to go too far into what I have written out with that, but you need to find your why and establish your core values. That is really important in planning for the year ahead. The next thing you're gonna do is set your intentions. So I use the 7 dimensions of wellness to establish my affirmations. I chose a couple different affirmations under each 7 dimensions of wellness, being physical, emotional, social, intellectual, financial, environmental, and spiritual. I have a few different affirmations on each of those that all come back to family. And these are going to remind me of how I want to live my life in the coming year and what is really important to me, that being family. I'm not going to go over those because those are kind of personal to me. I've actually printed off my affirmations and printed them around my mirror in the bathroom so that I can reflect on those in the morning when I wake up and before I go to bed, and just remind myself of what is really important to me this year. So in conclusion, when planning for your new year, it is a good idea to start with a declutter. That is a mental, physical, and digital declutter, followed by a reflection of the year that you've had. And then third, once you've established your theme and your core values, you can then set your intention, jot down some affirmations, remind yourself daily that in the year ahead, these are the things that you want to follow. And that is how you're going to set yourself up for a successful new year. Now, if there's anything that I missed or anything that you think I should add or reflect on before the new year, please let me know, because I love sitting down and thinking about these things. I love the idea of a new year being a fresh start, and I hope we're all able to start off on the right foot. So thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.